Brothers, was good.
Man, chilling, life.
You said the operative word there, life. My dog, what's up?
What up, man? What's up, my guy?
What up, G?
Back after a long, little, brief hiatus. Back in this thing. What's been going on? What's new?
Man, I'm just getting ready for this house, honestly. Just taking a day at a time. It's hot, working out. I feel like my life is boring. I'm just growing, y'all. I'm not trying to really get into too much stuff, but yeah, other than that, just the house and relaxing.
Trey, what's going on in your world, dog?
My life is on repeat, bro. I'm doing the same thing. I ain't doing nothing new. I'm done with the plays for now and everything. So after this, I'm chilling.
We all
Living a
know.
good life.
What's going with you, busy man?
Shit, man.
Entrepreneur?
Yeah, how's everything going with this?
It's long days back at other work. Went back to my teaching job. I still do that. So we've been training them now. We're back and getting geared up for the school year. We started earlier this year, so going back into that. And then promoting the business just days away from the official launch of Molid. Me and Trey, we were out in Pastor Williams out in Willis and doing a little bit of a modeling shoot. So adding model to my tool belt, you know what I'm saying? Being a little photogenic and trying not to be this real stern Godfather type figure, man. You know what I'm saying?
Security guard type thing.
I think me and you both got that issue. Like, I don't know how to smile on command.
Right.
So it's like, nothing's funny.
It's not. It's
What is it? A smile?
just saying a game. I don't do this.
Just like, I had a good time.
I'm behind in life. I gotta get going.
Serious business. I'm trying to hustle. I'm trying to grind. I got goals and aspirations and ambitions, man. But
Hey, look, bro, you smile through the pain, dog. That's why I smile a lot.
hey, that was real. Shit. But nonetheless, it's gonna be an interesting one this week, man. We're talking about something I think all three of us can kind of speak to, being that we've been in both of these settings before. Me also looking at where I want to go going forward for both the business and for life. And kind of the two conflicting ideals. But the main thing is just we live in Houston, which is a big state, and let alone Houston, Texas is a big city, along with Dallas, Austin. And we kind of are now seeing this as young professionals who've been working for a little while, been dating for a little while, being in the field. It's like, is it a good thing or a bad thing to be in, a big city and trying to date or not? Is that the problem maybe? And so I know you got this question brought up. I get this question a lot. We have these conversations a lot. So it's going to be interesting to tackle this. But just on that alone, what are y'all thinking?
From a dating aspect of it, I don't think it's hard because I think you can put yourself into places where you can thrive living in the city. Mm-hmm. You also can put yourself in a place where you can go down a bad route. So it's off of how strong-minded you are, I would say. So it's like when I first moved here in 2019 from college, I thought that was for sure the move for me. Everybody that was in the suburbs, everybody from their hometowns came back, whatever. And then now everybody wants to live in the city and still kind of do that post-college life or just want to do that city life, but still be close to everything. So that was fun for me. But now I'm in the stage where I'm like, I wouldn't mind being in the suburbs, and I am going to the suburbs, and I'm going in the outskirts to kind of just lay low. So it depends how you look at it.
What are you, Trey?
I mean, I like the city life, not too bad. But I ain't gonna lie, I kind of am more of a country stay away boy type thing.
Yeah, you was saying you wanted to move out in the dunes or something.
Yep. I want to move out like close to like to see the rocks and let's wake up in the morning time. It's like, ooh, that sunset and the trees and nature, bro.
That is peaceful.
That's serenity right there. Me being out here and then smelling oil, smelling the fumes. I'm like, God, damn, another day. Here we go. So if I wake up in a peaceful setting like that, I'm like, another day. It's a different feel. So pretty much, I say the dating perspective in the city is cool and everything like that.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not having too much of an issue with it right now, to be honest.
Trey's a city boy, y'all. That's just
city boy. I'm not city boy like that.
But I feel like him being single is fun. And then for me, I'm like, it was fun when I was single, but I was gonna ask you, like, you just starting to kind of be more in the city. Do you think you would thrive more in the city, or do you think you would thrive more being
That's a good question.
in the suburbs?
It's a great question. And the crazy thing about that is I feel like I need to be in a locale where I can have both, honestly. Right? Like, be able to live suburban where I can kind of be in my own little space and like stay away from me, yo. I need my space. I need to stay away from y'all. But then also, it is important, especially for someone who's trying to build their business and needs to network and needs to be around other young professionals that need to be around the city. And like right now, what I deal with is like I have to drive into the city. I have to drive to Gallery. I have to drive over here. I have to drive over there because I'm out of the way. A lot of times, but all my business partners are all the people who I'm associated with are all in the city and in the loop. So, thinking about, okay, what's the next move going to be? Where am I going next? That's the thing I'm kind of thinking about. Like, do I move into the loop? That way I'm near everybody, but then you're also going to deal with those issues, or do I like being suburban, out the way, and be able to focus? Because, the pros and cons of it all is that when you're in the suburbs, you're able to kind of stay locked in because you don't have as many distractions. For somebody who I would say likes having their piece of knows, like, I need to have as minimal noise as I can possible. You want to be in the suburban life, and I understand where young people decide to start raising their families and move out to the suburbs. But then for others, they need the access to other things around them, and so then that's where they move out into the city and they move into the loop. To answer your question though, I mean, I think it's necessary to be in the loop and be in the pressure and to kind of have that. And then once I get through that, get all that out of me, then I'm like, okay, I can go back to the suburbs. It's only so long that you can really be young and into the loop. So I think to answer your question, it's one of those things. I got to be in that for this little time, grind, push, apply pressure. And then once I get where I need to get, I can pull out if I want to.
So the thing that to say as well too is like, okay, so the city, you can associate that with drama, stress.
Yeah.
Suburbs, peaceful, sort of peaceful in a way, and just like not too much drama. So which one you want to choose? That's the basic way you can kind of say it in a way. I mean, there's little outliers inside the city and little outliers inside the suburbs as well too. But really, at the overall as it is, I say of course suburbs. I can still be sort of a city boy and be on the suburbs.
That's what I want.
Yeah.
Like being in the city, I'm starting to see more crime is starting to come in it more now.
Oh, facts.
I'm starting to see you can get random people just around your apartment which is not like you could be in the Galleria or downtown and you can those areas are still close to those cities, so it's like that comes into everything. So for me, I'm like that. I can be in, like you said, crickets at night, and you come outside and not hear nothing. Right. And then you might go walk around at night. Not saying you should do it, but like it's a better chance of making it back home than it is in the city. Yeah. Or if our boys be like, hey, y'all want to go out for a birthday party at Chapman and Kirby, and we go out there, and we out there in the Heights, it's gonna suck for me. Right. That I'm gonna be in the suburbs and have to come right back there. So it's like that's why I like living in the city as well. So it's like if we don't like to go out, but if we do want to go, at least it's there to be close and get there and back. So it's pros and cons.
That's a hell of a start, man. We'll catch y'all back for the episode 4 Insight. Let's get it.
It's just different.
Hopeless at one point, and they have an opportunity to make you go harder, make you get in that booth and just really express that hopelessness. Like, man, y'all don't understand. This is like, you know what I mean? You dig from a different place. That bottom of your soul, that pit, homie, where you felt like the shit was, you know what I'm saying? You always wanted, but it looked like it was just not gonna happen.
Shit, in your mind it ain't gonna happen. Shit, it probably won't. I took some risks, some people probably won't. That's how we're grateful for the fruits of all my labor. Hard to live and know you sick. I'd rather be with my creator. Think the time's up.
Welcome back to season 3 and another episode of 4 Insight Podcast. This is your host, Mike Obi.
Oh, it's your boy London Obi.
I wasn't paying attention at all. It's your boy Trey Garrett. What up, y'all?
Man, fellas, that was a good start, man. Now, what would you say about Bill Gates and mature?
I think between you and Blake, y'all have one of the two biggest maturity, like, what's the word I'm trying to use? Just improvements that I've seen. I'm like, dang. Like, okay, I need to Maybe it's like y'all are super calm. I think y'all are in Zen mode.
Way.
Y'all are way calm. I think me and Trey still got a little bit of a little like loud say. So I'm trying to get to that full Zen of just.
I was dealing with it yesterday.
Trey out here city boying it up just a little bit.
You been like that though. No, I'm thinking about it. Hope you been like that. Just Zen.
Yeah.
Or maybe I'm just looking at it more because I'm trying to get to full Zen.
Obi's been like definitely a very calm thinker, for sure.
That's great.
A very calm thinker.
How do you do it without speaking?
How do I do?
Without saying nothing.
I just realized that for one, I like being a shadow in terms of, I can have my thoughts and opinions, and I kind of just like to see the world and people watch, and I like to form my own opinions. So a lot of it is not me judging, but I like to observe and pick on, okay, what is my life experience, and then what can I take from other people, and from there, I'm just naturally always in thought mode and improvement mode. I don't need to.
No man, I'm looking at this boy got some strong nails, boy.
And we joined by one of the two dogs, my boy Chris on this cheese.
Cheese, he just got right in front of it. He did got some big nails.
Damn, boy. Ooh,
I tried to slap him 5. He almost scratched my man's skin up, man.
That's what I'm saying. The dog did already. But sorry, continue, Obi.
But nonetheless, I think to answer the question is just a matter of I just learned the balance of being able to speak when spoken to, but then still only have to say what's necessary and learn how to say less than I have to. From there, I don't get too long-winded, and I'm always able to let people speak their piece. And then I'm able to kind of protect my peace of mind, my mental, by keeping all type of noise away from it. Your brain is one of your most vital organs, so you have to learn how to protect it, and nobody else is gonna do it for you. So for me, I'm very particular on what I let in, what kind of information I let in, and then I learned the skill of being able to say I don't know everything, and that's my advantage. That's the skill I've been able to be like. A lot of people like to think, I know everything, so if you don't agree with me, then you're an idiot. I'm like, I don't know everything, and that's my advantage because I can learn from anything. I learn, I take what I like, what I don't like, all right, boom, and I'm able to kind of stay locked in on my journey, and I think that's how I've been able to stay and be, and that's what's kept me going.
Honorable.
Sir. But, this week's episode, man, is something that we all are kind of seeing unfold, and us being young professionals, we were kind of talking about it a little bit in the beginning of, we're really trying to figure out what is the right balance, what is the right step, what's the right process, and what's the right locale. But us living in Texas and living in a big city, and I think Houston in particular is a real interesting one, where you have your pockets of the inner city and kind of the big city aspect of it, like people talk about, but then you also have your suburban parts of the city, and what is the good, the bad, the ugly. Now, I know Lon was asked a question, I remember saying it, and it basically asks, how do you think your environment impacts your relationship in regards to living in the city versus suburban and rural areas? So I just want to ask y'all that question. What do y'all think is better, Trey? What do you think?
My bad. I heard you said suburbs. I said suburbs.
Suburb.
Thinking like birds. Yeah, I'm sorry, bro. I'm hearing a little grammar. I'm like, suburbs. I think basically living in the city definitely can impact your life a lot, because we was also talking about a little bit earlier, impact a relationship in possibly a negative way, because especially with the people around, a lot of times in the city, it's like, you kind of do associate with that, like with the fast life. Yep. A lot of people are living that fast life and want to be in your business and everything, and they always want to talk about something like, what you doing, what this, and you should do this, you should do that. I'm like, no, I don't need all this. He's trying to push all this stuff on me. And a lot of times that can affect your relationship, because then it can be, your partner could be said something, they were told something, and then they come back to you and say like, well, why are we doing this? Why can't I do that? Or why can't this happen? Why can't that happen? I'm like, yeah. Why you listen to all these fast life people? Why you listen to all these, like, basically I say idiots, or like just airheads? Don't listen to this shit. Right. Because at the same time you listen to that, it's bringing back that fast life over here, and the thing that we got. We're not trying to live the fast life, right? We're not trying to live a fast life. Why you listen to that? Why you trying to actually get advice from them? or even thinking about the comments they said. You think about that so much, then it's going to end up messing up us.
Yeah.
So I say for sure, yeah, living in the city can definitely affect it in a negative way. It's just like, it's also like I said, there's a little outliers out there, but I'm not counting the outliers. I'm counting the majority.
I would say so much of your environment can mess up a relationship. I think where you go in those environments of the city can lead you the wrong way. So like if you go into, like I say, like gyms that are very high influenced, or you're going to clubs that are like day clubs, pool clubs, where you see strip clubs, you going to all stuff like that, you're going to run into a few arguments with your significant other. But I think you should have the respect for your significant other to be like, all right, if she doesn't or he doesn't like something, I'm not going to do it. But the suburbs, you said something earlier off camera, you have to surround yourself with family-oriented, goal-minded people that has the ability to say, I want this, I want a family, I want a wife, I want kids. And I think that will frame how you act versus if you go around groups of people who's like, well, they're doing this, they're going to raves, they're doing this, why aren't we doing that? Well, why are we even thinking about it?
Why are we even talking about
Why are we trying to be like them? So it's like, that's the first mistake. We have a bigger issue if we worrying about what they are doing versus what we're doing. So I don't think it's so much of where you're at. It's just about you have more access, and then that just says, well, we need to go into a deeper level, because if you go to a guy's trip for a bachelor party in Miami, well, babe, there are just a lot of girls out there, and oops, is that gonna be okay? So it's like you can't use that for the city and the suburbs too. So
I'm gonna ask you a real quick interesting question. Do y'all think, even though because we can separate city and suburbs, but do you think social media basically bridged that?
Almost. I think what has happened is that, okay, so where I was going to come at it from was, it doesn't even have to go big city, inner city. It can go big state, little state, small state, right? So I've learned I can analogize anything to anywhere, but I like to use sports, right? So much in the NBA, we talk about big market versus small market. And that's really what I think dating and what we're talking about right now is going on, right? You have big cities, party cities, LA, Houston, Dallas, Miami, NYC, Chicago, Atlanta, right? And what I'm noticing, especially being at our gym, I get our gym as an ally, but I still see this mold start to happen. People are moving from Midwest, smaller states, and where do they want to come? They want to come to the big states. They want to come to Austin. They want to come to Dallas, because at the end of the day, that's what they value. They value, man, I'm young.
it's lit out there.
It's lit out there. I'm in this small town, not a whole lot's going on, so I got to make that move. Like,
I want that.
like y'all don't know how many people I've met. I'm sure y'all met the same, where I meet people, women. Hey, how you doing? You know, where you from in the world? Oh, I actually just moved here from Ohio, Louisiana, you know,
like
Alabama, Michigan, small
Small
town. I'm like, oh, what brought you here? Oh, my business, one, or, you know, I just wanted to network. I wanted family, yes, but I needed to move. I needed to grow. I needed to network. I needed to expand, right? And so what I noticed is that it all boils down to what that person values at that moment, right? It's nothing wrong with if you say, hey, I want to be around younger professionals who are out socializing, partying. I'm young, I'm trying to get all that out of me. There's nothing wrong with that. But then also, if you're someone who says, man, you know, I want to be marriage minded, I want to settle down, I want to chill out, I want to mitigate distractions, do you think being in the city is where you're going to find that, or do you think maybe living a more suburban life where you're outside is a little more community feel is a better option for you? I actually just had this conversation. I went and visited my parents a couple days ago, and my dad kind of brought it up in that way. I was like, yeah, you know, I'm in the suburbs and I like it, you know, it's close to work, but you know, I don't meet a whole lot of younger people really out there. It's a lot of families. All my business partners are out on the other side of town, so I was thinking of moving. And my dad kind of like was like, hey, you know, I just want you to think about something. You and the way you think, I think you want to be married, right, Mike? You know, I'm like, yeah, of course. So then he's like, if you go into the loop, do you think those people who go out to bars all the time usually they want to go to these social mixes now? I'm not saying you can't like that. But do you think those people really want to be in relationships seriously and want to be married minded at that moment?
It's a serious relationship.
So, but when he brought it up in that light, I was like, okay, that's a fair point. And when you put it that way, it makes you kind of have love of this perspective. Like, you know, he's like, if you really are serious and if you find someone who is serious, no matter where you find them, you can do it. You know what I'm saying? You just have to be able to put yourself out there and know how to be smart about it. And I think that's what it's all about. Like, the inconvenience of living suburban life, but then having to drive out to the city, is that too much of an inconvenience that you want to move into the loop and then now you're messing with your commute at work? You're also always around, you know, the city. So now there's no excuse why you can't go out. Now if you have people who, hey, man, come on, Alan, you right here in the category, let's pop out for a minute.
Yeah, but the issue with that now is like you're putting your wants over your needs.
Yeah.
So you're putting your priorities over your lustfulness or whatever like that. That's what you're doing. So that's where it can become an issue.
Yeah.
Especially if you're trying to grow yourself at the same time in a positive outlook.
Yeah. And I like that. I like that point of, you know, you have to know what is your needs and what are your wants. What are your priorities? Are your priorities in order, right? Like me wanting to be around more professional people would be good for the business, but is that a need or is that a want? For me, it's like, okay, that is something I want to, but am like, is that worth, you know, me moving further away from the job and then possibly doing more distraction? I think this all stuff you have to factor in, which is why it's important to really be diligent in the decisions you make. And okay, where would you move? What would that look like? Where would it look like? What parts of your daily life are going to change? How are they going to change going to the gym, grocery shopping, gas, all of that? It's not just wanting to be around other people. It's also how is everything else going to change? So I think those are the things you have to kind of factor in.
I think how you looked at the sport of a small market and a big market, and go to your question of has social media. I'm just thinking after y'all just said y'all's piece on it, I'm like, wow, one, social media has, because there's a lot of people I've heard say I hear Houston is so great, I want to move there, but haven't been there. Yep. So it's now I feel like Houston is starting to become like a mini California and trying to grow to that.
Yeah.
And it's like there's so many people who are just coming out here to get lit and have fun. Now, people who are actually from Houston, what they need to be better at is we've already been in this lifestyle. Mm-hmm. Don't let somebody from Ohio, Indiana turn up your lit factor again when you just said you trying to settle down and get your life right. Don't like, yeah, I lived my life to have the lit time, and now I'm okay. I can still get lit, but my definition of lit is, hey, are y'all trying to go on a cruise? Hey, are y'all trying to go to Mexico and go to get an all exclusive resort and sit? That's my lit.
That lit is
not
exquisite.
I'm not really on that. Let's go to Washington or the Heights or stuff like that no more. So I just say, like, you got to be in the present and, like you said, your needs and your wants.
Yeah.
You water, your grass will be green wherever you water it at the end of the day. So it's like, don't follow, don't chase. And it's hard for us as people in general. I don't care how strong your mind are, you always going to be like, let me see if I can go have some fun in this city. But like, to me, I just think the suburbs, for me, is if you're somebody who's chilling, laid back, that's just something I would do. And then drive to the city if you need to.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, like, me who does it, like, I mean, again, I live in the suburbs. So before where I live now, I mean, I've always kind of lived a suburban life, right? You know, grew up in Pearland, you know, a suburb of Houston when it was like new and emerging. Then we moved to another suburb. And the one thing I can say the pro about suburban life is not just you're out the way, but it is a community feel where it's really good for raising families, especially if you're going to try to raise kids. Because now you have other people who are kind of already like-minded. You have other families that are like-minded, right? Even though it's not to what it was when I was growing up, it's still there. And now it's like I know one thing about where I moved from. Everybody was within 10 minutes of each other as far as driving distance. So when a kid would be like, hey, I'm at such and such a shop, it's like, oh, he's right up the street.
Yeah.
Right? Now, hey, can you ask such and such mom or dad to take you home, or even those parents having access to your parents. Hey, man, I saw little Johnny.
Yeah.
You know, I heard about this at school, so I thought I'd bring it up to you. Now everybody's holding each other accountable. You know what I'm saying?
The community.
Versus in the city, everybody's a little bit more spread out. So now that community feel isn't as prevalent, and then now it's easier for people to be distracted. It's not nearly as close knit, and having a non-close knit community also means not having a non-close knit school, having a non-close knit team, organization, structure. So I think suburban culture is all about being close knit and having function, having structure. And structure is the most vital part of the society.
Think of River Oaks. People in River Oaks, they live right in the city, close to Galleria.
Yeah.
I think those people have beat the game of, like, if you want to live in the city, we're not saying it's bad to live in the city, but have the mental capacity to be able to turn that lit factor off. But a lot of people in River Oaks come from a different generation. They don't come from the generation of social media. So it's like, it's harder to tell people in our generation of stay in the city and don't get lit.
Right.
So like, you can maybe get a handful, 5%, maybe lower than that, that can handle that. But that's my advice to people that do want to live in the city. It's not to answer the question that she asked or he asked. You can beat all that stuff. I think my biggest challenge is the gym we go to, and that's something I had to get rid of to beat my relationships. I'm like, I'm not gonna win here. I can beat the city. I can't beat the gym.
The gym is hard.
That's killing me.
And I think even going to your point, it's not all perfect. Like, I mean, one thing living suburban life, you are out of the way, largely, especially anything that is fun, even things like community events, NRG. You have to drive into the city to go there. You want to go to the gallery, you have to drive in. So as far as gas, especially if you're the type of person who likes to go out, likes to go places, likes to go on dates with your lady, or your lady is the type, or your man is the type who likes to do stuff, live an active lifestyle. Being suburban, you waste a lot of gas and a lot of energy. Another thing too, people tend to be in their own bubbles in the suburbs. That's the downside. Where, like, even me, when I got out of high school, I used to look like, man, what's so good about Houston, man? It's just a city, like, and I'm like, one of the biggest cities in the state, and I mean, one of the biggest cities in the country. And I'm like, there's something to it, especially if all these rappers are talking about it.
Yeah.
So there's a part of the city that I just wasn't exposed to.
Actually, sorry, I would think that, going back to what you said about that, I would say that you waste more gas being in the city compared to being in the suburbs.
Why do you think that?
Well, mostly because at the same time, like, you know how you, like I said, it's a fast lifestyle when you live in the city.
Yeah.
So you'll be wanting to move around a whole lot more than somebody in the suburbs. In the suburbs, like, you know, it'd be like a once in a while thing because they have to time things and do this and that, like, not too far or something like that. So I say they waste more gas being in the city compared to being in the suburbs.
So a point, what if that person's, usually people who live in the city, I notice they work in the city too, right? So proximity to work is why people move in the city. Like, so there's, I live near here and I work near here, and then all the bars are around. So if anything, they walk. I mean, I think it depends on what big city you live in too, right?
Of course.
Somewhere like Miami, New York, LA, everybody's walking and mobile.
Or
now here,
riding a bike.
or riding a bike, but here in Houston, definitely, I can see that.
You got to drive.
You have to drive, live in there.
Everywhere you go.
I think most people in the suburbs work in the city.
Yeah, they do. But that's what I'm saying. So, like, they are driving as well too. Like, okay, so let's say you would be driving from let's say from your place to my place.
Right.
So it'll take you back, what, like 20 miles?
Yeah.
You do that like every day for work. Let's say you do that for work. Now, living a fast life, let's say pretty much the job, you're inside the city for sure. So your job maybe like what, 5 or 6 miles. All right, drive there, go back. Now you go out with friends at the same time because they'll be going out almost every damn day.
Yeah,
that's the fast life in the city. So they'll be wasting more gas doing that. You are going one place and back. And occasionally, a few times, you'll be going out from the suburbs. That's why I say more gas is going to be used with the city because there'll be more to move around. Like, let's go here, let's do that, let's do this, let's do that.
I see what you're saying. It's the fact that it may not be as far per trip, but you're making more trips on an everyday basis.
I would like to do a case study for that because it's interesting.
That's
Because like,
Yeah.
for me, I'll be going to Cypress, Katy. It's gonna be hour there from getting from there to downtown, and an hour and a half back because of traffic. But I see what you mean by that's already 3 hours. But I see what you mean by Thursday, Friday. You might go to Gallery, you might go to Memorial City, you might have to go back to Gallery, you might go to Houston, you might not do that as much. So I would like to see those hours.
You won't do that so much if you're in the suburban but you'll do it a whole lot with the city.
Yeah,
that's
if you factor that in, like you have to think about it. Like, I mean, there have been times where hey, you coming out? I'm like, where? Oh, we're gonna be here watching that, and I'm like, man,
that's a drive. So I don't know about doing that.
That's gonna eliminate me from going out forever because I don't even do it in the city no more. So
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, exactly.
You gotta think about if you drink, come back.
Yeah, it's too much of a hassle.
Right? Like that whole decision, like you already done played that night out in here. Like, okay, you gotta drive out from Suburbs.
You can't get too lit.
This other time, you can't get too lit. Then is it really gonna be a fun time?
Yeah.
If you don't get lit, right? Then
you don't want to stay out too late.
You don't want to stay out too late, which means now I gotta leave a little bit early. Now you don't want to be the motherfucker in the group that left early. Then people start looking at you. Stay home.
That would have been my solution from that.
They like, what happened to your boy? I'm like, man.
But then you get hit also with, man, like you're not living a social life now. You're in a relationship. I know how to enjoy my own company, and then you do your thing too. So I think it goes to not giving in the peer pressure is a big thing. Like I can live in the city because I know how to have the discipline to say, nah. Or like, hey, now I'm working, I'm focused. Like,
of course.
It's nice to have scenery, and if I need to go, then I can go. But like I know I don't like people already.
But that's but that's the thing. A lot of people not wired like you are, like us are. That's like it was rare for me to go out like that last night. I was rare. I'm like, I'm not doing this shit again at all.
You stay up. We went bowling on Friday.
Yeah.
I got home at 2. I was kicking I was like, I don't know how the hell you stay at 5.
Man, bro, like I was kicking I drove. I ain't never drove home so fast on the streets. I did 70 to 60. I don't care if cops out. I was like, bro, I'm trying to get home. I'm pissed. Why am I still out here? And mind you, it was a sort of fun time, but the aftermath of it was like, I'm mad.
Right.
Why did I do this? Like it's not really my cup of tea. So like you had the other people out there like that who'd be like, oh, I don't care. I'll live this life, man. I can do all like that. Yeah, that's cool. It's like I can't do that shit so much like that. But a lot of people will. A lot of people will.
Crazy to your point about like how I've changed. I used to be, I don't want to say a night owl, but it's like being out till 3, 4, 5. Like I used to do that.
Yeah.
I used to do that. And now I'm like, bro, 9 o'clock. I'm.
Alright, you starting to blink at around 9.
What? I'm like, let me go watch this show real quick, bro.
Man, yesterday we were out at the shoot and it was only 9 o'clock, and I'm like, man, I'm tired.
I was tired.
To bed but then again, it's like I'm an early bird now because I get up at 4, go to the gym at 5, try to go to work and get everything done earlier in the day. That way I have my evenings to myself. So those nights where you do get to go out, it's like, man, this is about bedtime now.
It's really fun. That's what I'm saying. I'm so used to being on a routine.
Yeah.
By me being out at 9, 10, I'm like, damn, I should have set this up for like 6, 7. So I can get home at 9.
And I was so surprised to even wake up like 5 or 6 hours. I was like, this is the most sleep I ever got in my life, and I don't want to do that again.
Yeah.
I was like, this ain't it.
Now we done talk a little bit about the suburb. Now, I mean, I think kind of boiling it all down is that there's good and bad to the suburb. But let's talk about the inner city. So, Lon and yourself, Trey, you guys both live in the inner city. So, what are the good parts about? We kind of talked about it a little bit, but just what has been the asset of being able to live in the city and getting that experience for the time that you've had?
Being able to access things quickly. Like I said earlier, I don't like going nowhere, but when I do, it's easy for me to be like, all right, if y'all need me to come somewhere and I'm in the city,
that's true.
I can do it. I'm like, okay. If I was in Cyprus or whatever, I'm not. And then the food spots. Depending on where you're at. For Houston, like that's a good food Like, if you like food, this is the place to go try different hole-in-the-wall places. We got a lot of Lotus. We got Trill Burgers now. It's growing big. So depending on what you... I never had it, but like, I don't really like those smash patties anyways. But like, a lot of people, turkey leg, kind of like, there's so many different places you can go that is like, but at the same time, that can hinder your... it's the pros and cons of everything.
Yep.
By me being in the city, I'm probably going to spend more. By me being in the suburbs, I'm probably going to save, and then I'm just going to miss out on more fun. Right. It just depends on what you weigh. So.
Like, that's I said, the needs over the wants, for sure. Yeah. That's what it comes to. So I probably say the same thing. The food's like, that was my first point. The food spots, boy, yeah, I love to be out here in the city, for sure. But also, I do cook a lot as well. Like, we all do definitely cook a lot. So it's like, I don't need to do it all the time like that at all. I'm like, I'd rather eat, cook the meals I like to make, or like, try this new thing that I saw that's actually cheaper. I can easily make. But instead of me going out to this restaurant and it be bland, I'm like, I'm mad I ate this. I paid like this one, like I paid $100 but that $100 could be used on a whole list of groceries. I could make 3 times that I got at that restaurant.
I got this question: what has it been like grocery shopping? Because for me, being in the suburb, like I have H-E-B, Walmart, all within 5 minutes. Like literally, I'm like, man, I forgot to get that at the store. I'll go back, man. Now I'm there in 5 minutes, so it's real quick, easy access for the stuff.
It's easy.
Yeah, it's quick.
Yeah, I mean,
they got places everywhere. So
yeah.
Like, I got Sam's. Sam's is literally. I go to Sam's for like I don't get all my meats there. But like my chicken, my ground turkey, my big things that I need, like bulk wise, eggs, whatever, I'll go to Sam's, spend about $250 at Sam's. That probably will last. That will last me probably the whole month. From like meats, like proteins. Like I'll probably have 2 or 3 pack of legs, which would come with like 18 in a pack. So I got over 30. Like legs, I got over like 20 wings, I got thighs, I got ground turkey, and then I got like yogurt, I got all that, and then Kat will go get the stuff at H-E-B when I'm just not there working in the office or something. Then she'll go spend like another $150. So we spend like $350 to $400 a month, and then that's I tell her I will get the big bulk of it. You go get the
little seasonings, the little things that we
and we
need.
even started getting the seasonings at Sam's.
I did the same thing. Yes,
it's a big thing.
Bro, it's so much cheaper, and you know how long that lasts. The garlic powder lasts me a good 2 months. I'm like, thank you God. Let me paying freaking $7.90 something or $8 some at Walmart, and be like a medium size. Even the little ones, I'm like $5.
Tissue, paper. That's just stuff that I'll be like, I look at like women as well. Yeah. That's something that I did look at too.
They need bulk.
I'm like, let me see how you shop.
They need bulk.
They need to learn how to bulk. They need to learn how to like. A lot of people want to. If I'm gonna spend $400 a month in groceries, I have to say now, okay, we got to cut down on eating out. Even if we can't afford it, it's just not wise to go out there and just say, oh, we got all this food in the freezer, we got all this stuff in the refrigerator. I'm gonna be lazy and go still get Whataburger and spend $40-$50 at Whataburger for us too.
You crazy.
Yeah, but that's a good point though, just on that, because like I went to Costco at the beginning of the summer and bought everything I needed. Like you said, buying stuff in bulk that'll last you a whole month to 2 months, especially if you don't use a whole lot of it. So I mean, I just now like last week had to go back to the store because I ran out of stuff. But I'm like, buying stuff in bulk, it seems dumb because it's like, man, you don't need all this at one time. But then it's like, yeah, it lasts you a month.
Like, bro, like, okay, so it's also, you think about it as well. A lot of people don't think about it. They say it seems dumb, but like really the thing is to make it smart. Okay, so you got half this chicken, like to say the chicken thighs. I do this all the time. I use like 8 or 9 of the chicken thighs and marinate all of it. But like, okay, so this side right here, I'm gonna just freeze that, and I got this saved for next week, whatever I want to cook. And I got this right here, I can cook for this week. It's just how you manage it and everything. I manage myself very well, and so that's the only thing about it. A lot of people don't know how to manage time when they cook, or how much they should be cooking and everything, or how much they know they be eating throughout the week. I know how much exactly I'll probably be eating, so I'm like, all right, I know exactly how much I'm gonna spend, exactly how much I'm gonna be eating, and that's it. If you don't know that,
people can overspend, people can underspend. What I do as well is I separate my stuff into like big storage bag, freezer bags.
Yeah.
And like I'll clean my chicken, this and then I'll separate them. So like I just need to pull them out, and then I just don't want to make everything at once, and then you put it in the refrigerator.
That's
and
terrible.
It's just terrible.
It's terrible. That's why I say just freeze it. Especially you ain't got to use it.
You got to use it. People don't know that though. People don't know if you can freeze it for a long time.
I don't know how.
It being
I'm like, bro,
bad.
what do you think you got a freezer? People got deep freezers, bro.
Yeah.
So once I get a home,
A house, I'm getting a deep freezer in my garage.
Bro, I got a coworker. My manager. He said he had got like a not a whole cow, but like it was like basically a type of meat to where it's like he had like. Four different like
and then he cut it up.
Yeah, he cut up and bro, that lasts him like he has a family of basically 4 including him.
Right.
That lasts them like a whole 2 or longer months. I'm like all that
from just hunting probably can do that, and then
yes,
the meal that you make that's like a little Santa Fe like the little taco. That's gonna make you how many meals? 2 or 3?
Yeah.
And it's like you're only gonna spend
easy.
That's easy. I might get 4 out of it. So it's like you might have spent the ground turkey, all that stuff, and that would have came out to $25-$30. You gonna spend that at a restaurant for one meal,
and then you're gonna be hungry right after.
Actually, let's not even say a restaurant. You go to Whataburger. $18 of a meal is that? I'm like, that's one
we
meal
went to
to a
Whataburger
meal.
on Friday, and both of us, and our total was $43. I said,
yeah. I saw that shit.
that bad?
Man, I was like, damn. I said, man, when did my honey barbecue chicken sandwich got higher, dog? I was like,
I think it's like $8 for a meal. And I looked at it, I said, did I say $7 or $8 for the meal for the honey butter chicken? I said,
yeah.
It used to be like $4.
And you know what's crazy is that like again,
dog.
No, but to that point though, like again, when you buy stuff in bulk and you spend that $400, like whatever that you spend on buying all the groceries, you really don't want to eat out. Like I went to go pick up my Pazookies from BJ's a couple back. It was $15. I'm like, God damn, I could have had 3 days of meals out of that. Like, and so you start thinking about that, and then it's like, and this stuff really isn't good either. Like, man, I could make some shit that's better than that. Like, I remember I had a sweet tooth. They know I started making cookies. Like, that's what I do. When I have a sweet tooth, I try not to eat candy, so I make cookies. So rather than going to HEB and buying, $12 pack of cookies, I'm like, man, nah, I got this shit in the pantry. It's gonna take me less time. I can do shit in the house, and it's stuff that's gonna be cheaper, and it tasted better to me because it didn't taste so artificial. So it's just being able to be resourceful and being able to say, okay, I can work smarter, not harder, and it'll save you money and be healthier in the long run. That's all it's about. It's just people about saving and then not being lazy either.
Literally.
That's the biggest thing. Lazy. There's a lot of people be like, I can't cook. You look, if you can't cook, you better look up a recipe.
Do something,
bro. Because you got Instagram, you scrolling. I know you see that food. They be like, ooh, that look good. I want to go get that. You know you can cook that. They showing you exactly how to cook it.
What to do.
You ain't even doing it.
There should never be a person saying they can't cook. That's my opinion.
Right. Now, what you cook in the way, like for me, I say I'm a survival cook. So I'm not gonna go full on Gordon Ramsay and so. Nah, I'm gonna put. Me and my dad used to call them concoctions. We would just put a whole bunch of macronutrients in a pan. We're gonna fry the shit. I'm gonna make it taste a little good. We're putting the spices on there, and it's gonna be healthy. It's gonna be good, and it's gonna get me through the day. That's all I care about. And then I'm gonna leave these two to put all their exquisite taste to the, you know what I'm saying? These are the dudes that really be shucking it up, man. I cook for survival. I can cook and I can make stuff and I'll learn, but
that's it. Like
you cook better than 80% of the people in the world now.
No, you cook better than probably most of the people in the damn gym. They be. I'm so sorry. I'm not sorry. Outflank food. No
way. Don't respect mama. Don't. Hey, stop.
I heard it was good though.
No, it's way too much.
Expensive?
It's expensive.
Oh yeah,
I'm like, yo, bro, y'all can listen, cook this. Like you got good cooking. I'm not knocking you in your cooking, but it's too expensive. Y'all don't know how to
That's
cook.
everywhere. That's why I don't go out to eat because I want to try their food so bad. But every time I be like, I'm gonna try it, I look at the price. I'm like,
I know. I'm like, ooh.
It's not even about being a cheapskate. It's like, man, I can go make this shit at home. Like literally, I look at it and I'm like, okay, nachos, okay, tacos.
Bro, I make egg rolls. I made egg rolls a few times. It's not hard.
It's not.
It's really not.
Man, I can
I'm
make
like,
this at the
y'all.
house. I'm see, that's how you know we getting old, man. We done had a whole conversation about getting the deep freezer just now.
Oh, yeah,
and
for
then
sure.
I'm the
Hey, if
we
you
got
get
that
a
shit at
deep from your
home.
place and I need to store some of my stuff over
You know
there.
what I'm saying? Remember when we used to be kids and hey mom, let me get some McDonald's. We went back to Lon's story a couple weeks ago. Now, man, we got McDonald's shit at home. Like, oh shit. we the whole
Man, I ain't gonna lie, that's what I miss about being at home, having that deep freezer. And they always had like, we had boudin, we had sausage, deer sausage, we had.
boudin.
Yes, bro.
You know I really don't like boudin.
You don't like boudin? Wait.
It's gotta be done.
Time out. Because actually, there's a different thing. Because me going to Louisiana and everything, I had all the types.
Maybe
of
I haven't had. I just because it's like that's like you basically still have the sausage, but just filled with like rice and.
Yep.
Okay, so there's like all different types. There's a crawfish one. There's a chicken one. There is the beef one. There's the mild.
I had a chicken one.
The chicken one's great. They had the seafood one. They had the I forgot what's the other one. It's a chicken and cheese and also a crawfish and cheese one as well too. They have that's over in Louisiana. They have ones over here, but it's like just mainly chicken, beef, and pork and seafood. But so it depends which meat market you gotta go to. So it's like a whole different meat markets you gotta look into and everything.
Mm.
But they be having some good food there. P-burgers.
I was thinking that
I'd be going
I was
there.
gonna get like more of a sausage bite, and then it was spicy. I hate spicy, man.
Yeah.
Like flavorful. And
What's
I
the
bet
difference between spicy and flavorful?
spicy. When I eat spicy, I'm looking for my like nearest water. Like, I eat some flavorful food. I'm like, this had like so many different flavors and different herbs and
The depths of seasoning.
like seasonings instead of just. Some people would think, oh, if I just put some hot peppers in here, it's no.
Bro, because like when you think of spicy, and like, and then that's like really when you think of spicy, especially over here in Houston, you will get spicy, but that's it. That's all you're gonna taste. You're not gonna taste any type of deep seasonings in there like spicy.
I'm like, you can kill my whole palate.
I'm like, bro, I'm done now. I'm like, I can't eat anything else. I'm like, damn, my mouth hot. We gonna drink this water, and then like, oh, I'm full. I can't eat nothing else.
You done had a whole workout. You done sweated out trying to eat that one bite of food. See, people always get on me like, how do you not like spicy food? You're African. I'm like, bro, I don't like not being able to enjoy it.
Enjoy my food. I'm not even worried about this no more. I'm worried about getting
I
back.
don't want this shit no more. Let's take it back. You know how, man.
You know, I don't turn down no food. I've turned down so many plates of just spicy food. I don't want that.
I can do it.
All right. I got this question. Does living in the city give you access to foster a lifestyle that increases the chances of infidelity? In other words, do people who live in the city cheat more?
Ooh.
Actually, no.
Okay. Why?
Oh. Yeah, go ahead. That's one. Go ahead.
I think the stigma is going to tell you that they do.
Right.
I've seen some foul older women.
Yes. Yes.
I've seen some foul
Yes.
older women. People want to get on men. I said, them middle class women, boy.
Stop that, amen. Shit.
Even the higher class, dog.
You asked me
to be honest.
the lifetime at Cinco.
Oh. Hey, yo.
Stuff that I heard of that.
Heard, I experienced.
Like, it's literally like, I'm like, the trainers that I've heard say stuff, I'm like, that person has a husband. I've seen it. But that husband's working corporate.
Yeah. And
He might travel. He might. I've heard of somebody was a masseuse and she had an extra home, and she used to bring her clients in there.
Done. I'm done.
So I don't know the answer. I don't statistically. it might be city, but the stories that I've heard,
I think it's leveled out. To be honest,
it could be leveled out.
Go ahead.
It's probably 52, 40, whatever is that, 48, 49.
It's like a 51-49, like dead ass. Like it's very close because like I coming from personal experience, I have talked to women who were let's say married and in a relationship with a guy, but
How you feel about that?
Yeah.
How did you do that?
I mean,
how did you?
I didn't actually go pursue him. Okay, so the thing is like you said, I experienced it one time with the gym. This lady basically, and her husband is over there working out. I know that's her husband because I saw him at the end, kissing and everything. I was like, oh my god, that's terrible. But basically, it's like they would. She came in. She was looking at me hard when I was actually working out, and like I'm doing abs basically in the middle of the floor, and this is actually the one that's the lights on the city.
I'm gonna tell you why though. The one in the city center.
Yes.
I'm gonna tell you why they do that though. But once you finish.
But yeah, so basically like she was checking me out and everything, and then so she came over and started talking to me, and then we just had a little long conversation, and she had got my number down, saved me in there, and she called me after the fact, just making sure that's like my number and stuff. And we had got a little bit after the fact, weeks later, and yeah, in the story.
How old was she?
40s.
Perfect age.
Yeah, so she's in her 40s.
This is what I figured out.
Oh, that boy done sat up.
When you're 40 and up, now you probably have a family. Now you have a husband with kids. Your husband most likely is taking care of the family, doing what he's supposed to do. That's what y'all wanted from us. But sometimes he's tired. They get bored. Now when he's tired, he wants to go to sleep. He wants to. He don't want to do that.
You can't go 2 rounds.
They can't go 2 rounds. He damn
Stephen Aisha Curry, I said it.
He can't go one damn near. He's probably going once or twice a week.
And that is true.
And
oh my God.
Man, I'm almost boy.
Boy.
It's time to go to sleep. But then she's like, I don't want to do nothing to my husband, but this young stud is looking right here. He's fit. He has this. Let me just give him my number. I'm gonna start off as friends. They're gonna tell themselves we're just friends.
Yeah, exactly.
But they're gonna respond. They're gonna respond back to you every time. And then if you smooth with it, they're gonna be like, all right, you know that the fact that you bit the dang fishing rod is me. I'm about to pipe. Now I'm about to pull it. So it's like then she's gonna cave and be like, this is just, and girls can cheat so much better than men because they're gonna go to you and be like, I have a husband with kids, I'm not changing that.
Cool.
You being the dude, I will see you at the gym with your husband and not even speak to you.
Facts. And that was facts, boy. I did that so many times.
But that's why I say women are more toxic with the cheating than men because a man do that. If a man do that with their
I can shake the dude hand. I couldn't shake it. I was like, nope.
Shake your hand, knowing that you're not even knowing that.
Literally, and guys would do that, and girls would be like, "It ain't nothing." Where it's flipped, a girl might get emotional at your side and be like, "I don't like that he's walking with his." He's already told me his wife, and they have kids. I'm gonna be petty. I'm gonna be emotional, and I'm gonna say that's why your husband's been.
Yep.
Then that's how we get. That's how it goes. But that's why I'd be like.
Damn.
So to answer your question, I'm sorry, it might be it might be a level playing field.
Having this conversation, I think I got something.
Sure.
I think what it is that people in the city don't commit as much. So you think they're cheating. It's not that they're cheating. They're not in a relationship. They don't want to be in a relationship. They want to live their life and be single and have their freedom and do that whole thing, right? A person who's going to cheat is going to cheat whether they're in the city or whether they're in the suburb, right? So literally, though, that mindset that they take and they got married and had a family, that one, male, female, because I've seen both. I literally have seen both, right? If they ain't got no morals, if they ain't got no principles, they're going to cheat. And then it's going to be that husband who has a mistress. I mean, he got the money, he was able to put his wife up. The secretary, you know what I'm saying? Whatever the case. Or it's the
what, Obi? Come on.
That's it.
It's gonna say it, bro.
For insight. Come on.
I already said I'm
it's the wife who got the young trainer, got the garden boy, got the man with the pineapple and the HEB bag.
But see, that's the man's fault.
It is the man's fault.
Yeah, because like same time you can't let really at the same time you can't let your woman get bored. That's the reason why she came to you in the first place.
Maybe she can get bored, but I don't think you should be oblivious enough to be like, I'm going on work trips and then you telling me, oh, I'm working out with this guy trainer, or I got this masseuse, he's a guy, he's coming to the house.
He's coming to the house.
Say, I'm at the house.
Nope.
No, absolutely not. No, you actually
Doesn't that make you sound a little insecure, my nigga?
No.
Bitch, no.
You can call me. I've always told people, they'd be like, well, you're supposed to let your significant other be free. I mean, I'm letting them free, but I'm also not an idiot. So at the same time, if I say I love you, to me, I guess, you said insecure, or was it? Or overcrowding, controlling, whatever you call it. You call me whatever you want. You call me all three, actually. I don't care. I always tell people, then you can leave if you don't like how I am. I'm just doing it because I care about you. Right. And I'm not saying that you should be smothering. Like, if she's having going with my girls, you gotta give her the trust. Yeah. Just pray that she come home with the best. Just close my eyes.
Like, bring nothing home that you ain't leave with.
But see, I heard coworkers in the past tell me, I've told my wife, when you go out, just flirt just a little bit. Like, don't flirt too much. Like, I'm not saying that.
No.
Ever.
What?
Ever.
You're representing you and you're representing me. How does it look, you, as a woman, first off, if you got a whole husband at home and you out here entertaining all these dudes? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you just got to think, not even for me, but just you're representing yourself first and foremost. So, you really want to put off that, like, hey, that's such and such girl, man. She be flirting with everybody, and then she got a whole husband. Like, people talk, girls.
What does that remind you of that we go?
That
place.
That place.
I'm about to say I don't go to
that place, man.
But no, that's exactly what that is. To me, it reminds me, like, there's so many people in there who's probably just in something, who's just in the shower. I ain't one of them. But, you know, on my end, it's good. But I'm saying, like, you just never know. And that's the sick that goes into the faith you have and believing in what God got for you, and also trusting your girl. But, you know, I don't trust nobody.
I don't trust no nigga. And motherfucker, you better follow the rules. That's all I say that.
I done seen
they're gonna say that's controlling. They're gonna say that's controlling.
That's fine. Call me controlling.
I love it.
I'm controlling. Yes. This is our relationship. Do you want to set, like, you're gonna set boundaries for me? So what's she doing? She controlling too, right? Yeah. 50-50.
Yeah.
Y'all wanted that 50-50.
No, I really agree with you, because like a lot of women would be like, they'll tell you can't do something, and if you don't say he doesn't listen to me, he's disrespectful. If we say you can't do, he's controlling. No.
Can she have your location?
Yeah, then she do.
Nah, not for me.
I guess not. That's
not.
Why not?
For me, nah. Like, cause look,
that doesn't make it better. In my opinion, that doesn't ease the.
It's gonna make. Sorry, it's gonna be like she's gonna be thinking so much in her head, like, what's she doing over there? Like, wait.
That's true.
You're gonna zoom in on her.
That's true.
Oh, you over it? Whoa. What are you over here for? Like, you was over here for like what, 5?
But it also can do the reassuring for yourself.
That is true. That is true.
It can, yes.
Because it's like if literally I'm like, yo, I ain't got nothing. There you go.
Like if you're out with your boys, you're just in the moment with your boys. You're not on your phone. Say you don't respond. She says she don't have your tracker. Nigga be at Holiday Inn. Or I can just go on this location.
Do you think I'd be the type of man to be at Holiday Inn? Is what I'd ask her. Like, you think
Embassy Suites. I don't
think
know.
I would be at a
hotel there. You know, keep going.
I'm like,
Post Oak. Leave somewhere.
You think I'm paying for all this shit? Hell no.
So what you're saying is that you would still do it, you just don't want to pay for a hotel?
Motel 8.
Yeah, motherfucker.
I just think I can see both sides. There is, cause like me, I ain't gonna lie, I be living my dream. I be all on the track. I ain't gonna
lie, I do be tracking something. I be like my homework, like
I know niggas would say he don't use it. I just knew you would say.
What do you mean?
Use a.
I'm a what? Now go ahead and say it.
No, but
so what? Obi is the oldest, so he probably passed me. Obi passed me. You got it. you got the ticket. You wanted to be MLK. You can be it.
Fair enough. I'm just Obi. Listen, it boils down for me. I was born that night, not last night. So a lot of this stuff that it's like, oh yeah.
You're just not gonna force you to do nothing that you don't want.
You can't.
Yeah, I swear.
It ain't going down like that. Which
he's the 60-year-old stubborn old man, like where he says,
because like I need this.
No.
See, that's different. you need it. Okay, well, like if I can
He's
do
gonna
it,
make why
that
you
makes
need it.
sense.
If it doesn't make sense in your mind, you're not.
Yeah.
No. I mean, now if it's something like, okay, I can do it and it'll make her happy and all that.
Because you compromise.
Yeah, I can
Right.
compromise. I'm the ultimate compromiser, but I'm just not gonna be blind. I'm not gonna be blindly just, oh yeah, sure, and then all of a sudden,
And
oh,
then
how
you-
that happened? It's like, nah.
I ain't doing that.
F all that.
You thought you could get me,
You thought you was gonna pull one over on me, but nah, I ain't going down like that. I'm an ultimate grandmaster at that. But at the end of the day, like, it's all like the more trust I build with somebody, the more time I build in, the more I'm like, okay, we done been through enough stuff. Like, really, I don't think that woman would mess anything up, right? But like, I don't believe in, oh no, she just can never earn trust. And you gotta always think that she's gonna do the worst. No, because then that's a pessimistic way to look at life. But
That's a parasite in your mind. You
it's
don't
a
want that
parasite in your mind, and you're not gonna have any peace that way.
I have a question.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
It was just in my mind. I think this will help every relationship.
What's that?
Do you think
Yeah.
if you had a poll of relationships with social media, without social media, which percentage of making it would be higher?
The ones who don't have social media.
Yeah. Oh, because
Why the hell do they got social media?
Because people will argue, oh well, is it for my business? It's the network. It's the collab. I'm like, listen, man.
Now do you think that's the scapegoat?
Hell yeah,
Yeah.
that's the scapegoat, man. Yeah, you gotta stop letting your girl get collabed out here, alright? You gotta.
Literally.
collab. Yeah, that's a
Girls out
PG
here
way of
getting
saying it.
collabed and you're just sitting there with your.
Because like you have to realize what guys are thinking. Like, there's no way they're like, oh yeah, we're just friends. Like, there's no such thing as guys and girls being friends. So y'all need to stop saying that.
Ain't no damn word.
There's
One person's gonna look. So I was told a story recently, right? Dude approaches a girl, right? And girl shuns him, whatever. Dude is persistent being a man, so he follows her, slides into the DMs. She blocks him. She had a boyfriend.
Beautiful.
Mm.
Okay.
But
2 weeks later,
let's say that.
he is unblocked and followed.
Well, that's her fault. You did good.
Hold up.
They are now together. You know what the moral of the story? What happened? She had a boyfriend at that time. She blocked him.
She knew who was next though. I say every girl always knows who's next.
Yes.
So,
Exactly.
I'm just saying.
They always know who's next.
Yeah, social media. I mean,
But I've accepted that though. You have to accept that.
Oh, yeah,
This is why
part of the game.
y'all going into a new relationship, even in my relationship, if it went negative. If you and your spouse ever breaks up, I'm letting y'all know right now, we're getting hurt first. They're going to smash somebody right afterwards. I promise you.
why do you gotta get hurt? That's my thing.
Oh, I'm hurt from it, but just know I'm gonna win that chess match. I'm gonna go sit down. I'm gonna just.
I'm gonna find
After a
something.
year, I can still go get with somebody else, but if I still love her, I'm still gonna care about it because
Yeah, oh,
I'm just
heavy.
We can have sex with women and not care. Women have to have some women just out here just doing
Some
it.
type of emotional
They have
connection.
to have some type of emotional connection. So I think I always tell women, I'm going to hurt first. A year and a half go by too, you gonna make me, that's gonna elevate me, that's gonna make me get hungry. You gonna think that, oh, everything that I think about in life, you think I'm P-U-S-S-Y. Yeah, I don't think it's anything. So basically, you think I'm that. So you think I'm soft. So I'm gonna show you that I'm gonna elevate my game. And I'm gonna keep elevating. I'm gonna go make my career better. And I better have a girl better find me. If I don't, I'm gonna be mad at myself.
Yep.
So if that happens, I don't want her to unfollow me. I want her to follow me the whole time. I want you to do what you want to do. Actually, I want you to show your ass. I want you to show your butt. Do everything. I want to take all that on the chest. Because when I do my chest, checkmate, you gonna feel it. It's gonna be and then that's gonna be my release of beef is over. We don't got no more beef no more. I won. You come back. Now if you don't come back, I'm like, man. You're strong. You wasn't supposed to do that. But then I'll take my L and say, this is why I loved you at one point, because you a stand-up soldier and you don't give a damn about none of this stuff out here. But I think a lot of women say they don't care about people around them,
But they do.
but you can see if they care about them like a year or two out of that breakup.
Especially if you level up and then all of a sudden on her girl, you let that one go, girl. I'm not going.
Oh, that's the best feeling.
I hear, when I hear that, I'm like, I guess.
Could you imagine being like this normal with a girl and then y'all break up and then you get famous and get money? Oh my god, I know that has to feel great.
And then also,
Boy, I'd be
get
like,
that text, hey big head.
I'm like,
Who the fuck is this?
I'm like, that's like, who the fuck is this? Nigga, I'm like, wait a minute. Y'all
I
recognize
was
that?
listening to T. Chris, he said something, and then he said, I hit her with the who this. I said, yeah, I'm gonna say that one day.
Man,
I don't know though. This is a weird world, so just stay out of it. Actually,
The world we live in, where's the future?
I'd have to say, man, forget social media altogether. But you tell me, now would you delete your social media?
Oh,
huh?
Would you delete your social media?
I thought about it. I really did think about it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's healthy for me though.
to delete it?
Yeah, for me. I'm such an introvert already.
Oh yeah.
I probably would never see nobody the rest of the day of my life again.
Honestly, I can feel where you're coming from with that. Like, I'm already introverted. I already stay out. So, like, that's kind of the one thing where it's like, okay, the people who I do have a connection with, especially, you know, like as we all kind of do our own thing, social media is a way for you to stay connected. You know, at least the people you value. So for me to just be in my house all day with no stimulation, with no something, I'm like, yeah, I feel great. Like that's part of the reason why I go to the gym every day. Like a lot of it is just habits, of rituals, and like, keep on going. Like you gotta get up, and you gotta have something to look forward to.
I think I could delete it.
But you're, like
How-
you said, you trying to go out to the damn woods.
No, yeah. I can delete that shit.
I could, but like,
especially like if I have like like my girl, my family, everything established. I'm like, yeah, delete social
see,
media.
people gonna take this the wrong way, and I don't even mean like I like being like that. I think I maybe find a new word for it. I say I like being depressed. I like being in my own thoughts to like motivate me.
Mm-hmm.
So like if I didn't have a social media, I would be just so locked in. But Blake and Stan told me a word. He said what's helping them in their relationship and just in life is just being present.
Yeah.
And like don't even think, like you can think long term sometimes, but don't think about what this might look like with another girl. Don't think about what this could be like if you was this, like how much money I could have. Like just be present and you would be so much happier. I was like,
and to that point, actually, now I can see where they're coming from, because in the last interaction I had, last person I talked to was like that. Like that was the most like I can just be in this day, in this moment without having to think, man, okay, where are we going? It's like, no, just what's today? How we doing today? And like with that, you don't get bogged up with any distractions. You so locked in on what you and that person have going on, especially when you have someone who can match that. That's the most beautiful thing ever.
And what I noticed, well, if I go on my script, I know for sure.
This boy Champ, man.
That boy knocked out right here.
that's what I was thinking. I was like, dang, I ain't like dogs. I might get a dog.
It's like I want my dog later on in life, I swear to God. But to my point of like, you know, when I say I could definitely delete it, because if I go on my screen time right now, I'm on YouTube way more than I am on Instagram. I noticed that as well. I was like, I only gotta go on my screen time. I just know it, because every time I go, as soon as I get in my house, what I do, I go on YouTube. I'm gonna play this video right here. I like to listen to this, or I like, let me go and find some source I can learn a little something on, and play my big speaker, and just like, all right, I'm gonna listen to this and just do what the heck I already needed to do. Yep. Like I don't like the only time I ever go on Instagram, it's like, okay, people mess me on there, damn, messing back. All right, get the hell off. That's why I say I can delete mine, especially it's like if it's like business wise. That's the only time I ever keep it like that. I already hate posting as it is right now. So that's why I say for sure, I just let it go.
Why is it like that? I mean, I know we kind of already talked about suburbs versus inner city, but I actually think these are interesting topics for us to touch on right now. Like, why do you think we're all like that as far as we don't like posting on social media, we don't really care for social media, and we don't we're in a time where everybody's about digital blueprint and, you know, building a following, building an audience. It's about building a business level. We all I struggle posting because I'm like, man, that's a chore, doing all these reviews, doing these vlogs. And man. So why do y'all think we're like that?
Well, I got it. For me, It's very simple. I don't know how everybody was raised, but I was raised to see both sides of the spectrum. I was fortunate enough to see Katie. I was fortunate enough to see the rough areas around Detroit and see family members not have things, see mom, dad go what they went through. So to me, I was raised off morals and values and seeing the struggle, but also seeing greatness. So I was just at a very young age comfortable in my skin. I think everybody has insecurities about something, but you can like manage them and at least be like, okay, I'm not afraid to tell somebody this is what I feel like I can get better at, or this is what I'm insecure about. But I think a lot of people now post only their high times, their good achievements, nothing about the process to get there.
I see.
And like when they do get there, they forget who they were, or they might create a narrative of they started something. Everybody wants to be the owner and say I did this first. Whereas say I blew up and I do love cologne, but oh yeah, I would never be like, no, I'd be like my homeboy Obi. If say he was on it, I'd be like my homeboy Obi put me on this. Like I'm not even close. Like the person who giving me that knowledge is him. Now I'm putting him on to give him game and put some money in his pocket. Whereas I think nobody now wants to put money in nobody's pocket.
Right up.
So I don't want to even do it.
I can't put you on, because if I put you on, you taking away from me.
You taking from me? I'm like, bro, there's too much money out here to be thinking like that.
And at the same time, what I do, especially like a lot of times, especially how I started my acting career and everything, I always give shout out to the people that helped me out started first. Especially like the producer Deborah Atkins. She helped me out with theater plays. Like she was the first person to say, "Oh yeah, come do this theater play." I'm like, bro, I'll give all praise to that. That's how I remember. Like my first play, dang, it's this producer and everything. Da da da. That's a shout out. That's the best thing about it. Nobody doesn't really get that shout out anymore. They say, "Oh, I got it from doing this and doing that. Like I had to grind this." No, you got it from actually having a resource. What was the resource? They won't really mention the resource. They'll just say like, "Oh, I did this alone." Like there's somehow you got into that. You need to get into it yourself.
What industry? And I don't want to get on social media and say they're the only industry, because I think it's the same way with corporate America. I think it's the same way with GMs and owners of sports teams. How they treat players. Like a lot of them don't want to give them the game or give them the knowledge to say, well, this league is only going because look at the running backs right now. They have to go to the extreme level to try to be in an important position now. And now owners are like, okay, we got them where they're thinking like they're not an important position. We don't have to pay them. Whereas like me, if I was a owner, and maybe this is not the best business decision to do, but my ethics and my morals and my values of me saying, you know what, man, Saquon Barkley is clearly the reason why we're relevant.
Yeah.
I'm going to pay him. And I might take a loss, but at the end of the day, I might say, how can I get that back? And I'm just a relationship people person. So that's why I get so angry at people in that gym. It's because I think they lack morals and values and simple things that anybody should know. But they're not loyal to nobody that's not. I don't even think a lot of people is with them from stuff I've seen. So it's like, how am I gonna get mad at them when I'm seeing y'all not loyal to y'all own people who might have gave y'all a chance and gave y'all sponsorship? You would backdoor them and get what they go, or you might do them dirty. So what I tell myself is I just eliminate myself, because you can't keep explaining to people like, why are you like this and still staying there. At one point it's your fault, and if you want to still stay there.
Yeah.
That's all good.
Yeah. Nah, that's good. I mean, I think at the end of the day it goes to, I got to keep you dependent on me by only giving you just a little bit. I can't give you everything, because if I give you everything, you're going to be able to spread your own wings and fly on your own. I need you to be tethered to my hip. I need you in my back pocket at all times. That's the mindset a lot of people have, which is a competitiveness, whatever. I think people like to frame it as that, but I'm like, really, truly, you hating. You hating on the next one, and you don't want to see nobody do better. Like to me, if I put, especially being like a mentor, like I mean, my fragrance page is the fragrance mentor, because I'm trying to put so many people on game. Like I had one of the little bros, I met one of his friends. It was a girl, and she was like, "Yeah, you know, my friend, he smells so good. He always comes to the gym wearing cologne." And then I was like, "Oh, what's his name?" And she told me the person's name. I was like, "Oh yeah, that's little bro."
Yeah.
And then like, you know, he's always talking about, "Yeah, man, you give me like building my collection." Like that's what it's about. It's having a positive impact where people are remembered in the right way because I helped them or something. Not, I'm gonna be in a cologne, but then I'm not gonna tell Trey how to get in the cologne. I'm not gonna tell him how to build a collection. I'm not gonna tell him what kind of colognes he would like.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna tell him how can he get into a fragrance business. I'm not gonna tell London, but I'm just gonna keep it all to myself. Like, nah, man, it's about spreading it and sharing it and passing it down. And you never know what you might create. You never know what opportunities you might create. You might create the next, what's his name, Tom Ford. You might create the next John Paul Gaultier, the next Maison Francisco John, all because you got them interested in it. That's the way. It's the potential. But most people like to see it as, man, I gotta be the gatekeeper. I gotta hold it all. People gotta rely on me. And I'm like, yeah, cool, that'll work. But then you're gonna limit yourself, and then that limits your potential. Like, to your sports analogy, Joe Lacob, the owner of the Warriors, has one of the highest payrolls ever.
But it pays off.
But it pays off whenever you have a winning championship team, winning mindset. It's about winning mindset. It's like, yeah, teams talking about tanking, or I'm gonna purposefully lose. That's a losing culture. That's a losing mindset, and I wouldn't want to play or
Play for something like that.
work someone like there. You know what I'm saying? So
You'd be depressing every day and day. I'm like, yeah, I'm
Like
tired.
going to the luxury tax, pay your people. Like you might not want to do that, but shit, they just want to you and they stay relevant. So it's
Yeah.
like you're gonna make your money back and some, and then you're always gonna have that relationship with your owner, your GM, and be like, well, he still has to be an owner and GM, but he still tries to look out for us and give us what we need. And I think that's what a lot of people like. I don't like when you're only nice to somebody who's above you in like a status, like you.
Yeah.
And then when
Your
you get,
kiss up.
man.
and then when you get there, then it's like the people I did talk to at the bottom, I don't want to talk to no more.
I hate kissing.
I'm like, I hope you don't do that to me because I don't want to talk to you when you're down there and when you're
And
there.
when you're- and I think that
I'm gonna see you as like, all right, bro. I don't like
corny.
like you're a kiss up. I hate kiss ups.
that there, I think that illustrates my mindset. Like, again, I need to get out of that place. I think is the main thing because
Yeah.
for me, I lose the number one thing that'll rock me.
It's facts.
That'll rub me the wrong way is where it's like people have a mindset because I have this following, I'm gonna treat you like a fan. I'm like, nigga, first of
I
all,
might even come up to you like,
I'm like, let alone a fan. I don't give a damn about you.
you know what I'm saying? I don't give a damn. I'm like, okay.
I don't.
Try that if you want to, but it's that, like, what I mean by all that is, like, if you don't have a certain following, if you don't have a certain status, if you don't have a certain money, if you don't have a certain dollar figure, then you're like beneath me. Well, I don't even want to work with you. I don't want to conversate with you because what are you bringing? What are you bringing? What are you bringing to the table? What are you bringing that you're gonna benefit me? Why can't? And I'm like, you never know what potential person who just they never knew, they just had to post.
Yeah.
They just had to start doing something, and then they could have blew up, and you could have been the person to put them on. Rather, you wanted the gatekeeper to say, they don't have the potential yet. So I'll look past them. It's those people where I'm like, see, you guys look on with your eyes, man.
I'm gonna say like this as well too. You have 600K followers, but then another person has 10,000 followers, and out of them 600K followers, you make a sort of good amount of certain money, and has pretty good resources. But he has a person who has like 10K followers. He knows a billionaire, and he has a way more outstanding resources. Who would you rather go with? You rather go with the less followers, or you rather go with more followers?
Go to less followers, so they have a higher
Exactly. A lot of people who has the more followers, they tend to not really have all that. They just have followers, fans. You don't want fans. You want actual people who
And
are
what a lot
resourceful and
of
beneficial.
people are doing, though, honestly, a lot of people are starting to buy their followers.
And that's terrible.
So it's like, I can tell when somebody buys their followers and how their like to views to all that ratio is. I'm like, you really goofy now. Because like, you might be getting a little bit of attention in your like area, but like, I also look at, we live in a materialistic city, world, time of living. You really think if these people had it like that, they would be wearing the things that they wear? Not all of them are wearing the best things or have the best. I'm not saying some of them could save. I'm giving the benefit of some of them could save, but I don't think we live in that time where people don't want to stunt. So I'm like, let's not get it twisted. If you aren't making that, only that person knows what's in your bank account. And then somebody was like, if your closet is worth more than what you got in your bank account, you need to reevaluate yourself. And it's like, I like the people who like, I go put on this simple tee and a shirt and call it a day.
I got Ross. They my people.
Hey, listen, I go on Ross, going to Target, going to Walmart. All the dang tees that I be wearing, that is from Walmart at George's. And I'm mad that people starting to catch on to them. I said, oh, damn, people catching on.
Yeah.
They're like, $3.99 to $5.99, and then now they gone. I said, see, now I don't got my tees. But I'm just never going to be that guy who spends $300-$400 on a designer tee. You just can't find it.
Or a belt. I'm like,
I went back to Louis Vuitton on Friday with Ryan. That belt said $357. You think I'm going to pay for that belt when I can go to Target and get about...
Boy, about
700,
yeah, 70 or something like that. I'm like, well, I'm getting all these other belts compared to that nice looking, not even nice looking. It
just depends on who you are.
Yeah, who you are, what you value. Like, cause it's nothing wrong with wanting nice things. It's nothing wrong with wanting your lifestyle and your scenario to be like exceptional. Like it's all good, and that's perfect fine. Like for me, my thing is getting my dream car down the line. And that's a reflection of the work that I put in.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But other than that, I don't care for a whole lot of stuff. I dang sure don't care to impress nobody or to keep up with the Joneses. Like, for me, it's about, I have these little things that I value that I want to get. These are milestones, these are goal markers. Like, look, this is a reflection of me getting the business to where I wanted to get it to. Now that I got it here, I can get this dream car, I can get this vacation, I can go here, go there. Like, that's all it is. But until then, shit, we in grind mode. And I'm going to keep it simple and grind, and eventually it'll all pay off.
See that part.
Shit. All right, man. That's a good episode, y'all. Any final thoughts? Any questions?
That was a good one.
Man. I don't know. I like everything we talked about there. I like these are good therapy sessions for real. Like Lon said, for real. These are just
literally.
It makes my mind even just so much at ease. I'm like, oh, thank you, God.
All right, missed our therapy last week, man. So we had to come back with some heat with a little banger.
I was wondering why I was more intense last week.
I was wondering why so much things had went on. I was like, Jesus Christ, did I have to talk about anything? Heck nah.
See, man, but like we say always, we appreciate all of you guys for listening, tune in. Keep on sharing the podcast, the channel, like, subscribe. A lot of y'all watching don't subscribe. I don't understand it.
Start subscribing.
Like our videos.
Yeah, subscribe. Push the button. I'm tired of y'all. Get our likes up. Get our views up so we can
start spreading this culture, man.
Y'all know y'all like listening to this.
Get back on the real, yo.
I'm like Picasso with these words.
I'm the grandmaster, the Zen master. You know what I'm saying?
I'm just a nigga here. I don't know.
Nah, for real though. Follow us on Instagram. Follow Molit Perfumes. Tap in with Molit. Grand opening is gonna be at the end of this week. We finally got the photo shoot done.
Yes, sir.
We got the models. We got everything done, polished out. So we'll have the official page up. We'll sell out this first one. So we'll go through that. Oh yeah, that Lovely came in this John rocking the
merch.
trying
to.
That boy trying to show the shirt. I'm like, hey, go ahead and do like this. Like you about to blast the titties. I'm like, hey man, come on, dog.
I looked up, Trey was just looking at me. I said, let me stop.
I'm like, what you doing, dog? I'm like, the boy about to flash shit. Like he got some shit coming in. Like, yeah, show these motherfuckers.
This ain't no OnlyFans. It's so.
$12.95 subscription.
Well, I got his price. Hey, we'll catch y'all next week, man. Much love.
Later.
Feet on the ground with a prove you wrong mindset. I'd rather go out on my sword than have my mind tapped. The ones with eyes can never see, I make the blind clap. I'm bringing back that type of sound that wants divine rap, homie.